Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're playing some Witcher 3. This is of course the advanced edition. All the ray tracing, texture updates, and it has really breathed some more life into this game. Probably one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Just going to quickly go through the in-game sessions. Of course, I am using my RTX 4060, so I'm only playing at 1080p. I'm also using DLSS frame generation. Now you may think that's really not necessary, but when you're playing this advanced edition with all the ray tracing, it becomes extremely demanding. So as you can see, I'm using global illumination, reflections, ray trace shadows, and ambient occlusion. That's practically all ray tracing. That's why it's so heavy. Now everything else is pretty much maxed out. I've disabled vignetting, chromatic aberration, and depth of field. I just want a clear image in the distance. That's why I don't always use depth of field. It doesn't always look really good in my opinion. Hairworks is on, and everything is at ultra plus, which is like the maximum, over maximum. So a few things to talk about. I haven't really spoke to you guys in a while, and just want to give you guys a bit of an update with the channel. So making a few hardware changes. So some of you may have seen I've replaced my MSI Z790 motherboard, which used to be the carbon Wi-Fi, and I now have the ASUS ROG MAXIMUS Apex ENCORE. Now this is a refresh of the Z790 motherboards. The reason I got this is two reasons. One reason, and the main reason, is I'm pretty much committing to the LGA 1700 socket and the Z790 chipset, and also I am going to be changing my i9 3900K to a 4900KS. This should be available sometime this week. It's rumored to be available on the 14th. It's probably going to be pretty expensive. I've never owned a KS variant of a CPU before, so that'll be a first for me. For those who don't know, it has a boost clock of up to 6.2 GHz, I think on 2 to 3 cores, and then remaining all cores 5.9 GHz. Now it's going to be incredibly power hungry, and with that also being hard to cool. But I've got a very exotic cooling solution, as you guys know already, so it should be okay for me. Also, with the ASUS ROG Apex ENCORE, it allows me to really push my memory speed in terms of my DDR5. As you can see, I'm running at 8266 megahertz. It's 8266 megahertz on DDR5. That's pretty decent because most motherboards won't do 8000. Overclocking the memory was pretty easy, which was a good experience, because the ENCORE just pretty much takes everything you give it. Now I've stress tested these settings, memtest, TM5, OCCT, XTU, pretty much everything that you would normally use to check if your system's stable. I've used it, and it passed with flying colors. No, not one error. And I've even like done some custom timings. Also, I had to send back my RTX 4090 to the manufacturer because it started to develop a bit of an intermittent fault. So basically sometimes it'll work perfect for like a week, and then all of a sudden I'll be playing a game and then I'll get like a blue screen and it will just crash the whole system. Now at first I thought, okay, maybe I'm running my overclock too high on my CPU, so I experimented for like a week by almost running stock on my CPU, but that wasn't the limiting factor. And then I diagnosed the fault, and it did turn out to be my graphics card just randomly not blocking up every single time you started a heavy load. So I should get that back probably sometime this week, hopefully, because we've got a few good games coming out. We've got Horizon Forbidden West, and we've even got Ghost of Tsushima, I think in June. So there are some really good games coming out very soon, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update if you're wondering why I haven't been making too much content lately. I'm pretty much just waiting for my upgrades before I get back to putting out more content. So when the KS comes, of course I'll be doing videos. I'll be showing my settings or my overclocks and things like that. Don't worry, I'm very happy to share my findings with you guys, and I'll show you all my settings, and anyone that's got a similar system, you'll be happy to replicate it if you wish. I have to say the 4060 not using that much VRAM, only using 4.7. That's pretty surprising. I'm not really doing any missions at the moment, just literally just want to explore Skellige and just see what kind of performance I get amongst all the foliage. And so far so good. Even with frame generation and DLSS, actually game looks surprisingly good, even at upscale 1080p basically. So it just shows you how good DLSS can be. Certainly improved a lot. Okay, this is a bear. I better heal myself up. Take this thing down. I think this game recently got an update as well. I'm not too sure, but I remember seeing that somewhere on GOG. But I didn't bother look at the release notes. I'm not too sure what it actually does. Well, when this Advanced Edition first came out, it was such a mess. It was crashing left, right, center. There was issues with the ray tracing. So they fixed a lot, which is good to see. There's so many random little islands in Skellige. So it is worth exploring them, because you usually find like treasure chests and things like that near them. So I wonder what's on this little patch of grass over here. There we've got some sirens, better equipped, hard. It's probably some treasure or something that they're guarding. Had the wrong spell equipped. Let me take out the rest of them before I start looking around. Not too much land around here. Usually when there's sirens, they're guarding something. Let me get out of the water. At disadvantage. Come on down, see what you got. Okay, I think that's it. So another good thing I like about the ASUS motherboards, they do have this kind of grading system where they give you like a rating, an SP rating. This is for your memory controller, your P cores and your E cores, so it's quite thorough, and it even goes as far as predicting what the kind of limitations of your potential overclock can be, and it's fairly accurate, to be honest. I'm not using any AI overclocking or anything, but the motherboard's pretty accurate. It's got loads of nice built-in features like memtest built onto the board, which you can just use, which is nice as well. And one of my favorite features about the ASUS ENCORE is it's got this safe mode switch on the board. So if you're doing like memory overclocking and you push a little bit too far, you can literally press this button and you'll boot up with your settings that you used will still be active, but you have the chance to kind of tweak it a little bit just to see where you went wrong. You don't have to start again and load a profile. You can literally press the safe boot option and just kind of tweak what may have caused you not to be able to post. So it's been an awesome experience just overclocking with it, because I'm so used to the MSI BIOS. I've had that for like almost 2 years, actually more than 2 years, because before I went back to Intel, I actually had a MSI X570 Unify with my 5950X. So I've been on MSI motherboard for this rig at least for a good 4 years almost. So going back to ASUS as my primary is a little bit of it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's definitely a good experience in terms of the amount of features that this motherboard has in terms of overclocking. It's pretty insane. I don't think there is actually anything around here. That's disappointing. Bit of a waste of time. Go back to the mainland. The lighthouse over here. Go and check it out. There should also be like a fast travel point as well, so I can get back to civilization. Maybe I'll travel to Novigrad or something. I know you guys seem to think Novigrad seems to be a very, very demanding area now, but we're living in an age where we don't really have quad-core CPUs anymore, and that's what used to be the main bottleneck. People just didn't really have the threads and cores to be able to deal with all the NPCs. Now it's a pretty simple thing. I think there's usually wraiths around here, but I have taken care of this mission that was around here. Should be, yeah, here's the fast travel point. So I'm gonna go back to Novigrad anyway, just to prove that point.
Well, another freak. Damage.
Scoundrel.
I think they overdid it a little bit with the NPCs since the update. There is just way... I guess it is a setting you can toggle in the options. So I guess it's kind of my fault actually. I've put the maximum, but the maximum is quite a lot. At least they give you the option. Yeah, dipping below 40 FPS in Novigrad, so pretty demanding here, has to be said. Well, I'm surprised that the 4060 can kind of still allow you to use all the ray tracing. You can still at least experience the game in all its glory, just not really going to get a great frame rate. When it's down to the 30s, it does feel a little bit sluggish. And that's not just frame generation, that would just be what it would be like in general.
Looking to make some coin too, hey?
Anyway guys, just wanted to give you a quick look at The Witcher 3 on the RTX 4060 with ray tracing. done a half decent job, I would say, but definitely not going to give you a 60 FPS experience, even with frame generation and DLSS at the quality preset at 1080p. So yeah, a little bit underwhelming in terms of performance, but this is a very, very demanding game, and it's not really a surprise to me that this is the result. That's pretty much it for me, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.